Yes, indeed. It's too sure for me.
Welcome back. Yes, it is.
Yes,
Quite sure. Yeah, I must say. Now we have a wonderful guest in the house. Nunnsi. I like that name. I want to ask
Nunnsi.
what the name is all about. Is that the short form or is that the name as it is? But Nunnsi Ojong is here, actress, model, superstar with a background in biotech.
Yes, so.
Oh, okay.
One of those science buffs that found her way into entertainment. Yes, indeed. We are really glad that she could join us today. Nunu, welcome to the studio.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right, so with a bright smile like that, I can only imagine the reason why. I can see why directors just love adding her to their cast.
Yeah, but just before we talk about your foray into acting and all of that, you have a background in biotech. Talk to us about that.
Okay, so by my second year in school, I already knew that I was in the wrong profession. Yeah, so I have a BS in genetics and biotechnology. So by my second year, I already started like modeling. I already knew I was in the wrong profession, but I just said, you know what, let me just follow through to the end. And then when it was time for me to serve, NYC wasn't forthcoming. Wow. And that's how the acting thing started. So I just feel like, like the Bible says, all things work together for good.
Yes, so
yeah.
I'm just so pleased to meet you. I know that some of the series you've starred in are really popular. The brand new SuperStory, for instance?
Yes.
All right. How's that going?
Oh, very well, thank you. So my character is Shade. Shade was dating some guy, Austin, and then Austin was an orphan, and we're planning to get married. I kept asking him, I want to meet your family, and he's like, no, don't worry, we'll plan that and everything. Long story short, he came to see my people, and it was there he broke the news, so...
Wow. Okay,
the relationship
suspense.
Well, you're wonderful. People have different stories about how they got into acting and all of that, how they auditioned and all of that, the stress and all of that. What's your own story like?
Okay, so my story started from church. So by church, I'm from Cross River State, so I attend Go City International Christian Center in Calabar. And so while in church, there was this lady, God bless her soul, she's late now, in the person of late Mrs. Pamela Ofebo. She relocated to Calabar from the States to work for Ebony Life TV. Okay. So she was always staring at me, and I was in the media department. So each time I passed with the cameras, she would just be looking. I'm like, what's this? I didn't know what she was thinking, So one day she called my pastor, and she was like, who's that girl? Like, she's supposed to be in front of the cameras, not behind. That they should call me to come for audition. Wow. And they were actually looking for presenters, not actors. But I turned it down. My pastor's wife was like, you have to go. Okay. This lady asked for you. You just have to. So I went, and then I didn't see presenting form. What I saw was acting. I wanted to leave, but my pastor's wife was calling like per second billing. I was like, this is crazy. Like, it's not just about me. The church is involved, So I went for it, and they had like 5 stages callbacks. Till today, I don't know how I scaled through all the 5. Wow. So she had gone back to the States, and when she came back, she found out I was on the project. She sent for me. She was like, have you been acting before? Because it was presenting she wanted me to do. I was like, no, but... So it was after the audition, I now saw the presenting form. I'm like, what's going on here? But since I auditioned for acting, I just, But then again, it was tough because Calabar is a very small city. Nothing really happens there. So when I came to Lagos for service, I just decided, you know what, I'll be here and pursue.
You want to go into all of
Yeah, so like for maybe 2 years plus, I wasn't getting movie roles. So it was just modeling. So I was doing a lot of adverts, but movie roles weren't. I went from audition to audition. You know how, like, in between, there've been periods, there've been periods that I just said, you see, this career, I'm not doing again. For like 6 months, I'll just leave it. After a while, I'll pick it up. Like, So I started in 2013, so it's been quite a while, but in between,
that's a journey.
Yeah. That's a journey. That's 9 years. Oh,
you don't take for granted. But I believe there's another project, a Covenant, that you're also...
Yeah, Covenant. Covenant is currently showing on...
What did you play on Covenant?
So my character is Egovin. Egovin is the accountant's rep. Yes. So
Egovin, really? That's the name of the character?
And now, what is the difference between when you started and your experience now in the industry? Do roles now come? Do you still audition the way you used to audition before?
Oh, right now, I would say I'm in a good place. So my jobs come basically via referrals. I don't go for auditions again. I only go for like closed readings.
Would you go for an audition if you wanted a role and it was open? Would you go for an audition?
Yeah. If it's a good one, yes.
I like that. Don't think about it. I like that because, I mean, even in Hollywood, the biggest stars for auditions. Especially even amongst themselves. I mean, you could go. Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise could audition for something. It has happened.
Yeah.
So
like,
I like that.
I think
space.
early this year I went for flatmates. And like I got them, my number was 800 and something.
Wow.
So, yeah, so there was somebody who saw me that knew me, and then he just called me and I went in and auditioned. So if it's a good one, like Kemi Adetiba, when next she's auditioning, why wouldn't I go for a Kemi Adetiba audition?
Wonderful.
I'm really interested in you know, who you try to mirror. Some actors have someone they look up to in the industry, Hollywood or Nollywood. Who do you try to mirror sometimes in your roles?
Quite your icons. Who do you love watching? Who do you enjoy?
I love, there are quite a lot. So, but for me, I don't try to mirror anybody.
Okay.
I just try to become better at, you know, what I do, because I've come to realize that when you try to mirror somebody, after a while you lose yourself. People see you and see another person in you.
Fact.
So when I get scripts, I just try to become, because acting is become the character, and that's it. So yes, so I don't really have any specific person.
Has there been any form of effective fallacy? Like, is there any role that someone sees and says, this has to be you in real life because you did it so well or something? Yeah,
twice I played. So there's this project I have, Edge of Time. It's on rock. That was for Darlington and Buddha. I played the priestess, and then there's another project I did that I was a witch.
This your hair.
Yeah.
You just put one or two candles around it and voila. I'll give you a wrapper. Red one. And then you hold white fowl, you know.
How are you describing this character?
You are set for it.
Wow. All right.
You know, so PJ, that's the pastor, yeah, he was on the project, and then he was like, have you been doing this before? He was like, this is you. I'm like, no, this is not me, you know. And then there was another one that I played a witch. There's this guy, what's his name now? Daniel. I've forgotten his surname. So Daniel Lloyd. Daniel Lloyd became afraid of me, like in real life.
Wow.
I'm telling you, like, he even said this. One time I met him at an event, he was like, I said I saw it, like, because I got so into the character that sometimes, even when we're not filming, my quiet moments, my eyes will either be, you know, or like, yeah. So and it took me like a week to come out of that character.
You see something? That's why I have a problem with the way we do things when one person is doing 5 different projects at the same time. And you're being 5 different people. But over there, when you talk about real professionalism, they can't do more than one, because like you said, they're into a character. To get into the Wolf of Wall Street, Leonardo DiCaprio spent 1 whole year with the original Wolf.
Wow.
Chilling with him just to become him. So you can imagine that level. Of course, the money is not the same. When you have that kind of money, you can invest yourself. But I like that you said that you could invest yourself so much that you had to even take 1 week to get out of the winch phase.
Yeah.
Wow. Ah, goodness.
Like
but
that.
it's gone now, Shara.
I like that.
Of course.
Let's just be sure. Let's just
Can
be
we
sure.
exchange?
Let's just be sure.
You're not serious. In fact, I'll conclude.
But let's moving forward. Let's what's on the horizon for Nunu? What can your fans look forward to? What can we expect?
Well, the dream is to go international.
Yeah.
That's the dream. I'm just tired of the whole, I feel like it's a vicious cycle. Everybody just wants to get to the peak and then you just produce. I don't mind producing at some point, but the dream is to go international.
All right then.
I like that. I like that. Well done. And this is us wishing you the best and see you at the top. Well done.
Get those Oscars, just bring them.
Yes, so by the grace of God.
Well okay, that's quite an interesting one there with Nunu Ojong. We'll take a time out now. Stay with us. We will be back with our final interview of the day.